March 14, 11:33 p.m. Theatrum Neutralis lobby.
Yay.
Agent Lang.
Langzy says, little cubs never do they know the real fury of the elder wolves.
These codes are definitely becoming increasingly difficult to decipher. And what does that mean?
It means that you'll never really know how angry I can get. With my kick-ass sunglasses, Mr. Prosecutor. The counterfeit bills made with Ablaze ink. They were all of Zhang Fa denominations.
Yeah, so I heard from Miss Funkama. But we don't know where the play money has gone. They must not have figured out it was all burned yet.
Ever since those things showed up in circulation, my country's economy has taken a big hit. Zhang Fa is in a financial crisis as we speak, because we can't tell the difference between our own bills and the fakes. But it's not just the money. The citizens are also worried. I've staked the honor of the House of Lang on this, and have come to this land to capture the mastermind behind this whole mess. I investigated how the bills were made and how the ink was smuggled into Zhang Fa, and I pursued the smuggling ring all the way here. But tonight, this is where the final chapter was written. Despite my frantic efforts to chase the smuggler down, someone got to him first. And now I'm called to return home without a single answer.
Agent Lang,
Don't start. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault, Mr. Prosecutor. Though we can blame your childhood friend, that Larry Butts guy. Ambassador Alba, I'm sorry for all the trouble tonight.
Oh, no. It is I who should apologize, sir. It was all because I was not strong enough. If only I was able to think of a better solution. Quickers, you fool! Curse your empty brain!
Ha! You're being too hard on yourself, Ambassador. I take full responsibility for tonight. End of story. Sheena, let's go. Time to return to our den.
Yes, I don't like to admit it, but there's not so much else for us to do but to go home as well. Agent Lang, moment if you... You, Wolfman and Secretary Lady, hold it! Objection! Pow!
What the hell's going on?
Detective Gumshoe, have you got the results of the handwriting analysis already? Yep, and on that note, was definitely written by Mr. Cochin, sir. Just as I thought. Good work, Detective.
Yay. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. How long do you intend to hold us up for?
Sorry to have made you wait, but I believe that now everyone is finally here. Agent Sheena, I'd like to ask you something if you don't mind. Yes? How excited did you feel to see the Yatagarasu when you were in the neighboring room to where Mr. Koji was killed? I'd like you to explain that to us.
What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor! What are you doing asking her about something she didn't see?
Jen Lang hasn't touched the Propably investigation at all, so I suppose I will need to explain a few things to him first. Miles Edgeworth, I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in that head of yours.
And you probably don't want to.
The only thing going on in my head is the pursuit of the truth. Oh, it sounds like you have some sort of plan. Very well, I'll supervise you until the end. Is she seriously going to treat me as a subordinate for the rest of the day?
She's gonna treat you as a subordinate for as long as this case goes on, dude.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm planning to do.
You're not trying to pick a fight with my subordinate on some flimsy guess, are you?
I'm not trying to pick a fight, and the evidence is hardly flimsy, as you will see.
Yay! Ha! I should have known that you and I are destined to fight it out to the very end. Now put up your dukes.
It would appear that way. Now we just need to cue the fight music.
Well, I'll prove her innocence. So let's see what you've got, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
With pleasure.
Yay.
For my opening argument, I'll discuss the Yatagarasu that appeared in Babal, and establish exactly who it was that Case saw. Agent Lang, I assume you've been briefed on Case testimony?
You mean the suspicious person in a coat that she saw?
That's right, that person is one of the keys to solving this case. The person who pretends to be the Yatagarasu.
Pretended? And what do you mean by that?
I'll get to that in a second, but first I want to review what Case Mystery Person did. Okay, if you could please explain for us what person you were chasing did.
Okay, you got it! I first spotted the suspicious person near the open-air stage, on the Ablaze side. I called out to the person, but as soon as I did, that person ran off. I thought it was rather suspicious, so I immediately gave chase.
For the sake of argument, let's call this suspicious person the Yatagarasu.
Hey,
Now, please tell us what happened when you chased the Yatagarasu up to the 3rd floor.
Can do! I chased the Yatagarasu all the way up to the 3rd floor of the Ablaze embassy. It was a pretty straight chase down the hallway until the sudden turn. The Yatagarasu disappeared around the corner, so I did my best to catch up. When I turned the corner, I saw the Yatagarasu run into Mr. Cochin's office. I gave chase and ran into the room. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the light, and then I apparently picked it up. Ah!
Who's there?
By the time I turned on the lights, the Yatagarasu had disappeared.
When Kay entered the room, the person she was chasing was already gone. Why do you suppose that was, Agent Lang?
What do you mean, why do you suppose? Isn't it obvious? The person slipped out through the door behind the girl under the cover of darkness.
Objection!
Sorry, but I know for a fact that the person didn't escape through that door.
Oh? And how do you know that with such certainty?
That's easy. If the Yatagarasu had left through that door, they would have run right into this person, Sheena.
Yeah, they would have ran into Sheena.
Yeah.
Because she was like literally right there.
Take that!
Your answer is Sheena?
Yes, because let's consider what would have happened if the Yatagarasu had used the door. When Kay screamed upon discovering Mr. Cochin's body, the Yatagarasu would have run right into Agent Sheena, who was in the next room over. Agent Sheena, would you mind telling us what you saw that suspicious, if you saw that suspicious person in question? No, I didn't see anyone. You see? Therefore the Yatagarasu could not have escaped through the doors.
It just means that the creep slipped out before Sheena made it into the hallway.
Objection!
I doubt that, as there was another person in that hallway, a certain detective.
Ah, Detective Bad.
Detective Gumshoe, where were you exactly at that time?
I mean, Detective Gumshoe is bad, so
Yeah.
that's his job sometimes.
Me, sir? Well, when I heard Kay scream, I ran towards Mr. Cochin's office from the opposite direction of Agent Sheena, sir. So, Agent Lang, can you explain how someone could have eluded both of them? Even you must concede that under these circumstances, the door was not a viable route.
Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth! You nailed him with just an explanation of what happened.
Oh, it's what I do best. Yes, I've eliminated one of the possible escape routes from that room. This is far from over. I need to make Agent Lang aware as well of yet another possible escape route that the Yatagarasu could have taken.
I get it. So that's why you were trying to show me. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, let me guess. This is what you're trying to say, right? Because the door was not a viable escape route, then there must have been another way out.
Precisely. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, it's time to bust out with our revolving fireplace for explanation, right? Don't just say that. No, not quite yet.
Huh? But why? I thought this would be the perfect time.
The revolving wall on the Propably side is known only to 4 people.
And whoever else just listened in.
And if we use this information unwisely, the truth may escape us in the end.
What's with all the whispering over there? Scared I'll figure out your tactics?
Nothing of the sort, Agent Lang. Come, let's continue where we left off.
That smug, haughty attitude of yours. You really rubbed me the wrong way. You know that. Well, no matter. I figured you out already anyway. The only other possible escape route besides the door is the room's lone window. And since an eerie picture of said escape route exists, are you saying that this photo captures the moment of the Yatagarasu's escape?
I guess Detective Bad must have filled him in on this photo. I have to admit that at first I thought the window to be a possible escape route as well. However, I now know that it's impossible.
Now, I realize you may not know this, but humans can't fly.
I love how Sheena just comes in to help with the pointing. Of course I know that! That's bloody common sense!
Just ignore the circus case. And the bridge case.
Besides, I never said I thought that photo to be of the Yatagarasu's escape route.
I suppose not. Alright then, explain yourself.
The shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu that Kay was chasing after.
You can say whatever you'd like in whatever language you want, but there's only one language I really understand. The language of evidence.
Very well then. I present to you proof that the person Kay saw is not the same as the one in this photo.
Okay, so it has to be one of these.
You think it's the statue?
I have no idea. What do we even got? This is after the fire on the 4th and 5th floor. Kay saw it when the 3rd fire was going on.
Yes.
Or the 2nd fire, which was the 1st floor.
Yeah.
The 1st fire occurred on the 4th and 5th fifth floors during the Jamming Ninja.
Yeah.
So they were doing the concert, so I think it would be this.
I think so, yeah.
Because there's no way they'd be there.
Take that!
Let me explain to you precisely why the shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu case at all. Case for the Yatagarasu heading for the third floor during the second fire. However, the photo in question was taken just after the first fire.
Yeah, way to go! That's twice you've bit him in the butt now.
What are you trying to imply?
We're not done yet. You still have to explain what the shadow is and how the Yatagarasu escaped. I don't suppose you can answer both, can you?
Regarding the photo, I admit that we don't understand what it means quite yet.
Ha! As I thought.
However, the Yatagarasu's escape route, now that I can answer.
You can? Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, go on. Enlighten me.
Hold it!
Even if I explain it, you'll try to find some flaw with what I have to say. You were busy heading up the Alabastian investigation, correct? In that case, I doubt you'd have much knowledge about the Ablaze side of the case. So wouldn't it be best if the lead on that side, Agent Sheena, explained in my stead?
Sheena is my subordinate. If I don't stick up for her, how can I look her in the eyes and call myself her boss? Why'd you put them back on?
Lang, it's alright. I can take care of him.
Permanently. Sheena!
You've shielded me a lot as my boss, but it's time for me to prove my worth.
Alright. If you're okay with it, then you have my support.
Finally, it's down to just Agent Sheena and myself. This is where the battle really begins. Now then, what is it you'd like to ask? Let's see. Why don't we start with your movements inside the Babylese embassy? Oh, we're testimony.
Oh.
Sheena's movements. During the first Babylese fire, I assisted in putting out the fire. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that appeared in Babal. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over. Although I was in the next room, I was able to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that a girl's Yatagarasu even exists. And that is all I have to say.
But I'm not lying when I say I saw the suspicious person run into Mr. Cochin's office. Like I said earlier, I have no intention of retracting my testimony.
Good. Let's confirm that you have a partner when you were on your investigation. No, I moved alone. In that case, you have no one to corroborate your alibi. Is that correct?
Are you calling her suspicious because she was in a room by herself? How pathetic.
And it wasn't when Agent Sheena tried to arrest Kay under the same rationale? And how about when you accused Larry because he was the weapon's owner? Now that is unexpected for that useless slump to get into such a situation.
Yeah, it's kind of expected for Larry to have that happen.
Yeah. Although, I suppose it never is a good idea to let mistakes go uncorrected.
I will make no excuse for what I did in that situation. Well, how about that time you tried to arrest a badger? Officer Meekins. Just because he also drove a car.
Yeah, poor Meekins. You should apologize right now for making Kay out to be the killer, pal.
I'm sorry. Sheena, apologize.
I'm sorry.
It's really okay. I mean, I'm not under suspicion anymore. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? For this crime, no.
Well, I never doubted you. Not for 1 second.
And the same goes for me. I believe in Sheena.
And let's put that to the test. And see if she is really worthy of your trust.
I hope she's actually not Yatagarasu.
This promises to be interesting. Okay.
So she assisted in putting out the fire.
Yeah.
She was searching for the Yatagarasu. Why? While searching, heard a scream. Wasn't able to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. I think it has something to do with that next room.
Yeah, it has to be something with the next room. You might need to press a little bit.
Why are these here? I do not understand.
That is gonna play an important part at some point, those two flowers, I'm certain of it.
We know this was used. We need to figure out when that was used.
I think we have to press a bit.
Hold it!
By the second fire, you mean the one that consumed the third floor of Babal, correct? Yes, that's when the suspicious person was spotted in Babal.
Then you were after the same person, the long coat that I was after.
There's no proof that the suspicious person was really the Yatagarasu, because no one was able to get a good look at the person's face. By the way, how was your team's investigation? In order to extinguish the fire, water was pumped into the third floor via the windows. The majority of the investigators conducted their searches on other floors. Maybe they did, but there was one person who was wandering around lost on the third floor. When the fire was pretty much out, I moved to investigate the third floor. And you did that alone? Yes.
Scream.
Hold it!
So you were in the room next to Mr. Kojen's office. I already told you I was earlier. As I was examining the neighboring room, I heard that girl's shrill scream. Upon hearing it, I immediately ran towards Mr. Kojen's office. When you proceeded to arrest her, as I recall? Yes, I did. But she was totally innocent, pal!
They already apologized. Why'd you put...
And I thought I had already apologized for my behavior. Now, if the tenacious detective would be so kind as to be quiet... Oh.
I agree, actually.
I have to agree. Right now is not the time to take issues with that. No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. But what I do take issue with is the fact that you didn't see the Yatagarasu, Agent Sheena. The prosecutors of this country are all so strange.
Hold it!
You were unable to catch even a glimpse despite being in the next room. Is that true? I really hate to repeat myself. I'm sorry for inconveniencing you. However, I simply wish to make sure that you are not misremembering something. We wouldn't want you to be accused of lying later on, would we?
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Are you calling Sheena's testimony a lie?
Agent Lang, I'm talking with Agent Sheena right now. So I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't interrupt us with superfluous comments.
Aw, you know, I feel kind of bad for him.
I understand his pain at watching one of his subordinates being accused. However, I cannot turn my eyes away from the truth. Lang, I'm alright. And as for you, I think you should be focusing your doubts on that girl rather than me. And why is that?
Maybe we present the thing here?
We might.
Because we're assuming the escape route was that.
Yes.
And before the scream happened, the dude would have already went over there.
Yeah.
Because you had to turn the light on first.
Yeah.
Objection!
Being in the room next to Mr. Kojen's office is the problem with your testimony.
Not so fast!
Mr. Prosecutor, I don't see what problem you're talking about at all.
Agent Lang, do you recall the secret we discovered about the Alabaster office fireplace?
Huh? Oh, you mean how it connects to the office with the room next door? What about it?
Well, Alabaster isn't the only country with secret connection fireplaces.
What?
The fireplace in Mr. Kojen's office holds the exact same secret.
What?
The Yatagarasu didn't escape through the door to the room or the window. The escape route was through the revolving fireplace wall and into the next room over. Now do you see? If the Yatagarasu had escaped into the next room, then the thief would have run straight into Agent Sheena. Meaning that it's impossible for her to have missed the Yatagarasu. What is the meaning of this, Miles? Well, would you care to explain, Agent Sheena, how you managed to completely miss the fleeing Yatagarasu, or shall I? Your claim that you were in the next room was a lie all along, wasn't it? The truth is you were the one Kay saw in the coat. Pretending to be the Yatagarasu, and you were the one she chased after. And you tried to lose her, you ran into Mr. Kojen's office and headed for the fireplace. Then you shed your coat in the next room, leaving it there to emerge as Agent Sheena. After that, you came back around to place Kay under arrest. Does that sound about right? If not, then speak now or forever hold your peace.
But why?
How dare you make Kay look like the bad guy when you're the suspicious one, pal?
Sheena? Hold on. Is this Callisto you in disguise?
Oh my god, is it you? I think it might be you! I think it's you!
What?
Well, I guess you're taking over then.
I don't know. Is it you?
I think it is!
It's you!
It is you! Oh my god, I did not see that coming! I did not see that coming, holy shit!
Oh my god, it's actually you!
That is funny, so you're now taking over as voicing her! Oh my god!
Holy shit! I didn't think I'd be voicing you again.
That laugh.
I'm gonna have to try to remember the voice.
I remember this irritating laugh. I'm getting chills down my spine.
It can't be, but it has to be. Sheena, what's wrong with you? I'm sorry. It was so funny that I couldn't help but laugh.
Funny, you say?
Yes, that you would accuse me of being the Yatagrasu. The prosecutors of this country really are so very strange.
Do you think you can get away with this by simply laughing it off?
You think I'm taking things too lightly? I think not. It's that prosecutor who is. Look, everything you said earlier is nothing more than mere speculation. The Yatagrasu fled through the fireplace. Do you have any proof to back up your claim? If you don't, then you haven't proven a thing regarding the Yatagrasu's escape route.
The tone of voice you're taking with me now has certainly changed. Even her stance has changed, her demeanor.
That's because it's been a while since I've had this much fun. I think I'll let loose, and then we can have a real battle of wits. And then I'll probably shoot you again.
For an agent of Interpol to show me the true power of her mind, it's a great honor.
Don't underestimate me. I'm not some foolish broad, you know.
I know, and that is why I won't hold anything back either as I answer your question.
My question?
Here's the proof that the revolving fireplace wall in the bar was used recently. The testimony thing about what they did? Yeah.
I assume.
Yes, the testimony.
Take that!
Maybe? I'm sorry. But is this really your honest answer to my question?
Yes, according to Ambassador Palomino's testimony, he said that he was burning some documents in the fireplace with Mr. Cochin.
Oh?
The ashes of what they burned were left in the fireplace, so they should have been there. However, when we went to investigate the room, the ashes weren't there.
Why is that a problem? Maybe someone cleaned them up.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, Ambassador Palomino said that he forgot to. And so the question remains, why were the ashes missing? The answer is simple. When the Yatagrasu went through the fireplace wall, the ashes were pushed to the next room by the wall as well. The movement of the ashes that were in Mr. Cochin's office is my proof. And just what is so funny?
Ashes proof! Are you even allowed to submit such flaky evidence in court?
You still wish to fight us?
Of course! Why wouldn't I?
In that case, let's hear your counter-argument.
My counter-argument, huh? This really is just like being in court.
Well, to me, we're simply continuing from where we left off all those years ago.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It doesn't matter if we had a crime scene or in court. Let's finish this here now.
I suppose. I've had a lot of fun today, but I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case. Once and for all. Yeah, I don't think this is going to wrap up this absurd case once and for all.
Oh, it's not.
In my eyes, all you've proved is that the rotating fireplace wall was used. But you can't really call that proof that the Yatagrasu used the fireplace. Now can you? So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation, and we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochin's office. And there you have it, my counter-argument.
That's very impressive. She has seen through all the fact that I have yet to gather that one piece of evidence. What is it, Kay? I haven't heard a peep out of you in quite a while now. If you don't think you can handle it, feel free to leave the rest of it to us.
But
Kay, pull yourself together. You are the true heir to the Yatagrasu name, are you not? If you want to steal the truth, then you must never take your eyes off of it. This chase, you're running to catch the truth. You must see it through to the very end.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're right. I will see this through to the end. So, you go get her for me, Mr. Edgeworth.
With pleasure.
Looks like a lack of evidence has left you wide open, doesn't it? Sheena, please. Show me you're someone I can trust. Don't worry. This will be the deciding match. You'll see.
I'm truly sorry, Agent Lang, but I simply can't allow her to escape me again. Very well then, Agent Sheena, shall we begin?
I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay.
So, how do we prove
We have Callisto
about
you
the
on...
rotating fireplace?
We have Callisto you in the profiles. I just need to check. We have you in the profiles. Okay.
It doesn't do much now, though.
Well, we can use that at one point. I'm sure.
I don't know why we have this.
That's certainly gonna come in handy.
So we proved it was used, yes. Can't really call that proof that the Yatagarasu used it, though. So how do we prove? I don't
I
know.
might depress a bit. It sounds to me like you're saying my explanation is not good enough. But I was able to go through the revolving door myself. So that should be proof enough even for you, pal.
Huh. It looks like you don't quite understand. But by your looks, I can guess that you're not all that learned.
Ouch! Talk about rude. You should watch what you say, pal. Sadly, I can't say I disagree with her on that one.
Yeah, really can't. But you know what I mean, right? You may have proven that the fireplace was used, but you can't really prove that the Yatagarasu used it.
So you want proof that the Yatagarasu was the one who used the fireplace?
That's right. Well, do you have any? Can you prove that it wasn't the Yatagarasu who used the fireplace? I don't need to prove anything to you. Objection!
Hold it!
Okay, if you could please not steal my line.
Sorry, I just couldn't hold it in anymore.
I understand. Well, don't fret and leave her to me. All you have to do is sit back and watch.
Aha! You may seem to have some wiggle room. But without any evidence, it's meaningless.
We might get the hint if we press on this one.
Hold it!
It's possible that the Yatagarasu left fingerprints inside the fireplace.
Sorry, but I had the forensics team check that already. All they found were the prints belonging to Ambassador Paolino and Mr. Cochin.
Curses! I should have known better to think the Yatagarasu would have been so careless. There must be some sort of evidence that we still have yet to find.
Aha! I take it you have no further objections?
It might be the ink.
We found not a single suspicious thing in his office.
It might be the ink.
The clock.
The clock! Oh god!
We found this inside the grandfather clock.
Yes! We found this inside the... You're right!
Maybe?
Objection!
Haha!
While you say that and your agents have finished your thorough investigation, are you absolutely certain that you didn't overlook anything?
Well, aren't we full of ourselves standing there insulting Interpol agents? You'd better not be insinuating that my men are incompetent, Mr. Prosecutor.
I'd never do that. However, it doesn't change the fact that they did overlook something. I'd like for you to take a look at this length of wire.
And what exactly is that supposed to
Oh
mean?
my god. I think I just got it. I think the wire might be connected to the other place. Like the other office. Across, from the courtyard thing. Potentially.
No idea.
Anyway.
Well, we'll see. A length of wire. So what about it?
I'll tell you what. We found this in the Propably's embassy not long ago.
What?
And we found it wound up inside the grandfather clock in Mr. Cochin's office. You found Sad at the scene of Mr. Cochin's murder? But this wire wasn't all we found. We found one other very important thing.
There's more?
In Mr. Cochin's office, there were signs that someone had burned counterfeit bills there. But instead...
Hi-ya! Everyone's just so angry. That evidence was something you found out through the girl's machine, right? So what if it was? That's what I thought. But unfortunately for you, a recreation made by a machine is hardly concrete proof. Among the ashes you found in the room, did you happen to find any counterfeit bills?
No.
You see? So there was nothing in that office. Nothing you can call evidence, anyway.
Objection!
I'm sorry, but I seem to have given you the wrong impression.
How so?
I don't recall saying that I was presenting evidence of any sort. Rather, I was pointing out that your investigation was incomplete. And that this throws doubt on the purity of your investigation into the Yatagarasu.
You still suspect me, I see. Alright then. I ask that you point out what part of my investigation is incomplete.
The other Interpol agents worked under the command of Agent Sheena. And is it not possible that the reason the person Kay was chasing chose the third floor was because that person knew there would be no other agents on that floor? Furthermore, we've come to see that Agent Sheena was only pretending to be investigating the Yatagarasu to the point of arresting Kay. In that case, there's only one location no one has yet to inspect. The other room. Your team's investigation was incomplete because they failed to inspect this location.
Take that!
The location, Agent Sheena, is of course the room you claim to have examined. I believe the room next to Mr. Cochin's office, warrants a foreign inspection.
Even if you do that, I doubt you'll find anything of use to you there.
I'll be the one to decide that. Detective Gumshoe?
Yes, sir? I'm on it. I'll be right back after I check out the room next to the office.
Bye, Gumshoe. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth! Do you really think that Miss Sheena's the Yatagarasu?
Yes, if my logic is sound, I believe she is.
Then I'm not going to let her get away with ruining the name of the Yatagarasu.
What can you prove she's the Yatagarasu is the question. Detective Gumshoe can find what I'm hoping he will find. And I should be able to. And just what are you hoping he'll find? Let's just say this. Detective Gumshoe do a little experiment for me earlier. An experiment? As if that detective has the brains for high science. It wasn't that mentally taxing, and I'm used the same escape route as the Yatagarasu. And what did you find out by doing that? First, that it's possible for a person to fit through the revolving wall door. Second, that by going through there, his coat was covered in ash and Propably's ink. Who cares what his coat was covered in? It's not worth that much anyway. But is it really worth so little? I believe that it's actually quite a meaningful result, the value of which I'm about to prove.
Yes, that's where I found some things you really need to see, sir.
Oh? So what are these things that you found?
Some makeup, a coat, and a pair of shoes, sir.
You found a coat? You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Maybe it's the one that the person I was chasing was wearing.
Yes, the possibility does exist. Agent Sheena, were these pieces of evidence not in the room when you examined it?
Unfortunately for you, those aren't suspicious items of any sort. They all belong to me. They were getting in the way, so I stored them in that room.
Oh!
Thank you for bringing them to me. It saves me a trip. May I have them back now?
Hold it!
These items that the detective brought back are incredibly significant. I request that we be allowed to examine them.
They're my personal belongings, so you have no right to touch them without my permission.
Objection!
I wish to examine them for the sake of the investigation. But if you wish to deny us access to them... Agent Lang, let's hear your opinion on this.
I say, let them look at your stuff, Sheena. Lang! Sheena, let's put it all out in the open. If you're really innocent, then you have nothing to worry about, right? I guess so. All right. Go ahead and examine whatever you'd like. After all, I have nothing to hide.
Good. Now let us begin.
So which of Agent Sheena's belongings are you going to examine, sir? The coat?
Let's examine the coat.
Yes, sir.
It appears you managed to stain your coat rather badly. Agent Sheena. The Yatagarasu that Cave saw was wearing a coat, and I'm beginning to wonder if this stain wasn't created when you went through the fireplace.
Aha! No, you have it wrong. That soot probably got my coat when I was hoping the police put out the fire.
What about this dark substance around the hem of your coat?
Oh, I didn't realize that the hem was that dirty. I'm sure it's just some water mixed with the soot from when I was helping with the fire. I don't think so. You think you can get away with such a transparent lie?
Yeah, don't lie to us, pal. This is the same pattern of dirt I got on my coat when I went through the fireplace.
Your words ring hollow in the absence of evidence, you know. So unless you can prove that the dirt on my coat is from the fireplace.
Which I can.
What? How?
You did a great job, Detective Gumshoe.
Huh? Me, sir? What did I do?
This coat. This is exactly the one piece of evidence I was searching for. I had been hoping to find a coat that the person Kay saw was wearing. And thanks to you, we proved that going through the fireplace would sully a coat.
I don't quite get what you're saying, but I'm happy for the praise, sir.
All that remains is for us to show what the dark substance of the coat hem is.
Oh, and you think you can do that?
Of course I can. This is the dark substance that sullied the hem of this coat. Ink.
So it's this.
Take that!
But Propably's ink?
Yes, this is what will prove that the coat went through that fireplace. According to Ambassador Palomino, he burned some files in the fireplace this morning.
You told us about that already, so I don't really see the point in mentioning it again.
My point is that he spilled some ink onto the back wall of the fireplace at the time. If the dark substance of this coat turns out to be Propably's ink, it will prove that you and this coat went through that revolving fireplace wall.
Ah!
Sorry to have clipped one of your wings, Yatagarasu, but we're not finished yet.
But you have no way of proving whether or not this is Propably ink on the coat hem.
Oh, but I do, and I intend to show you that it is ink in a few seconds.
How?
How, you ask? Since you don't seem to know, allow me to show you. This is how I will prove that the dark substance on the coat is Propably's ink. We will burn the coat. We can find out whether that is Propably's ink or not by lighting it on fire.
That's how you're gonna prove that's Propably's ink?
Yes, if you could please cut a section of the dark sustained area for me, I'd appreciate it. Because I will show you here now what the dark substance is.
Sheena, sorry to do this, but I'm going to have to cut off a bit of your coat. Go ahead. I wasn't planning on wearing it anymore anyway.
Now then, if someone could loan me a lighter or something.
Oh, I've got some matches! I always carry them with me so I can light smoke bombs!
God damn it, Kay. Then if you could please have one, Kay, or if I could please have one, we can get this experiment underway. It's a flame!
Damn, that burned quick. It's the same color as the flame's white crystal oil produces. Which means...
Ablaze ink is a product of wit crystal oil, and when lit, the ink produces a green flame. I believe the time has come to clip the Yatagarazu's outer wing.
Miss Sheena! You're the fake Yatagarasu? The one who killed my father?
It's about time you came clean, Agent Sheena. Or should I say, Callisto you.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor! You're not serious, are you?
Do I look like a joking type to you?
Aha! Callisto you! I've never heard that name before in my life.
Set manner of speaking and set attitude. You haven't changed a bit in 7 years.
You're the defense attorney that killed Mr. Faraday, then tried to frame me for it.
Oh, really? And you have proof? You insist that I'm this Callisto you woman. But you can't prove it. If you have no proof, then I'm afraid you won't be able to lay a single finger on me.
Objection!
The raven is a very unique bird, one that flies by the darkness of night. However, the light of dawn has arrived, and it will reveal your true, ugly form to the world.
Hey, ravens are adorable.
And smart.
Enough poetry. I want to see some evidence.
Do you really have something that can prove that she is Callisto you? I do. It's something that the second Yatagarasu has preserved for us these last 7 years.
Perfume?
The key. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Do me the honor, Mr. Edgeworth.
I will, Kay. We have finally come to the end. We'll prove her to be Callisto you with this and clip this Yatagarasu wings for good.
Does she use the same perfume?
She might.
Take that!
This perfume. This will prove you to be Callisto you.
It will?
Kay has preserved it perfectly for us. Surely you remember this bottle? This belonged to Miss Yu before she just disappeared 7 years ago. Actually, this means that a few of her fingerprints on here as well.
Are we saying that a 10-year-old perfectly preserved a bottle, fingerprints and all, for 7 years?
Yes.
Wow. I'm impressed. This is the bottle of perfume you spilled, which I have preserved ever since. I heard from my father, Burn Faraday, that if stored under the right conditions, a fingerprint can be preserved for decades, which means that your fingerprints are still on here. Every last one.
We can clear everything up if we wear some comparative prints on this to your own. Now come, Agent Sheena. Will you submit yourself to a fingerprint test? Oh my god! Oh my god!
Holy shit!
Oh my
Oh,
god!
I love the evil maniacal laugh.
Oh yeah!
I could not do it justice. It looks like you've seen right through me yet again. Haha, you're sending the biggest chill down my spine, Edgeworth.
Callisto, you! So you've shown your true face at last!
This feeling of thrill is even greater than that time 7 years ago. Sheena, you're... Lang, I really enjoyed our days together. You're an insanely strong, nice, kind-hearted idiot of a man. So you were a spy all along. A mole sent by the smuggling ring I've been chasing after. Someone has been feeding them intel on Interpol all this time? Haha! Very good! Maybe you're not as big of an idiot as I thought. Callisto you! The woman who killed my father 7 years ago! You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu! That's right, Callisto you! That's just one of my many names. But even that is just a facade. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the great thief Yatagarasu. What the hell is going on?
Callisto, you? This time you won't escape. But this is the end of the road for you. Now come along quietly.
You know, you're the one who left the strongest impression on me, Kay Faraday. And had you not used the Yatagarasu's gadgets, I might have never known who you were. But here you are, being a thorn in my side, just like your father always was.
Kay, don't.
You! I'll never forgive you for what you did to my father! You really are just like him. Mr. Faraday, too, possessed such laughable honesty. God damn it, Kay.
God damn it.
Kay! Ah! You let Kay go right now, pal!
You despicable...
Let go of me, you filthy... You think I'm a fake, don't you? Well, unfortunately for you, I'm the real Yatagarasu. But that's impossible! My father was the one who created Little Thief! Hey, Edgeworth! The Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is?
Why it has 3 legs?
There are 3 main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be 1 step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system.
No, it can't be.
Did you finally figure it out? Do you finally know the real identity of the Yatagarasu?
The real identity of Yatagarasu is...
Are they implying that it is Detective Bad?
Oh my god, I think it's Bad. I think Bad is the Yatagarasu.
He is a high-ranking ass detective who could get access kind of wherever the hell he wants.
Oh my god.
Are they really implying it's Detective Bad?
I think it's Detective Bad.
Oh, I'm going with it's Detective Bad because this just seems more hilarious anyway.
The real identity of the Yatagarasu is neither Burn Faraday nor Callisto Yu. But by the same token, they are also both the real Yatagarasu because they were free. It was not one person. It was 3 people.
It was all 3. Oh my god. Haha. How very perceptive of you. No way.
The single person known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu never existed.
Mr. Edgeworth. No. I refuse to believe this!
The Yatagarasu is known to have 3 special skills. Skill number 1. The Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. And a lawyer would have the opportunity to learn the layout of the client corporations. Skill number 2. The Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. And a good prosecutor would be well versed in the ways of a criminal.
Oh my god.
And skill number 3. The Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever. Now get away from my niece, bitch.
Detective Bad!
It was only natural for the Yatagarasu to never leave evidence behind, because the lead detective on the case hid it all away.
You're the 3rd member of the Yatagarasu?
You. I've been looking for you a long time. 7 long years. But I finally got you.
Why, Mr. Bad? Long time no see. What happened to us? We used to be such a great team. If you were such a great team, then why did you kill my father 7 years ago? Why, indeed. It was nothing personal, really. He was just another person I had to kill. How can you say that? I grow weary of this, and it's about time for everything to come to an end. And this time, I won't miss.
Stop!
I assume who's Bad pointing his gun at?
You.
I'm assuming. Oh,
Kay!
no. Kay! She's dead! It's over, Sheena. Your leg!
Agent Lang!
So, Agent Lang went to disarm her, and at the same instant, Detective Bad shot her. But Agent Lang took the shot.
Clearly.
Wow.
Man, this is quite the climax.
You idiot. What were you thinking? Jumping in front of my gun like that? What are you risking your life for?
I'm sorry, Detective Bad, but no matter what sort of past she may have had, or even if she is a spy, it doesn't change the fact that she is my subordinate. And as long as she is, I can't allow any harm to come to her. Not even from you. You really are an idiot. You know that? Ha! That's fine with me. You should know by now that's just how I am. Hey, sis.
Yes?
I want you to conduct a full body search. Sheena might have another weapon on her.
Alright. Detective Gumshoe, your assistance, please.
Yes, sir. Hey, I found something. What is this, sir? It looks like the blade of a knife, but it doesn't have a handle.
This is a great find, Detective.
Huh? It is, sir?
Let's try pairing up this blade with the handle. You have the handle right there?
Take that!
I believe this blade actually belongs with the handle that was on the murder weapon.
Yay.
Hey, they fit together perfectly.
This blade must have been taken from the crime scene when the knife handles were switched.
I'm going to return this Propably's knife now.
Alright, I trust that you'll make sure that it's returned to Ambassador Palomino. This knife handle given to Detective Gumshoe. I think this makes it perfectly clear who did it. Callisto, you? For the only time the handles could have been switched is just after Mr. Cogent's murder.
Aha!
Which means that you must be Mr. Cogent's killer. You killed Mr. Cogent with the alabaster knife. Switched the handles and then took your original blade with the Ablaze knife with you. Later you allowed yourself to be spotted by Kay near the open air stage. You used the fireplace to lose her, and you went back to accuse her of the murder. Does that about sum it up?
Objection!
Haha! You craft an engaging tale, Mr. Edgeworth, but there are two problems with it.
Problems? In what respect?
What do you think my real reason was in allowing her to chase after me? It was also I could capture Kay Faraday. What? When I saw you using that device at Gatewaterland, I knew right away that you were Byrne Faraday's daughter. I became curious, so I researched a little into your background. That's how I found out that you were on the trail of the Yatagrasu. So that's why you tried to pin Mr. Coach's murder on me. Yes, I knew you would show up at this embassy tonight, so I thought to use you. But pinning the murder on you wasn't my only goal. You had another? Yes. Once I had you under arrest, I had planned to search you and take back the device that rightfully belongs to me, the true Yatagrasu. You were going to take a little thief away from me? 7 years ago, it was thanks to that device that Faraday was able to infiltrate this place. But he stole more than he should have. I had a tough time recovering that precious key.
Then the person who stole the Yatagrasu's key was Mr. Faraday?
You. That incident 7 years ago. What was the catalyst behind it?
In the eyes of the smuggling ring, the Yatagrasu was becoming a bit of a problem. It wasn't an especially pleasant assignment.
Then why? Why did you become a member of the Yatagrasu?
Why? There is no why. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning.
From the beginning? What is that supposed to mean?
The person I take orders from hasn't changed, even now, to this day.
Does this mean that the leader of the smuggling ring wasn't Mr. Kochin? And the real ringleader is still out there pulling the strings?
Are you done asking what you need to know? Because if so, we should probably get going. And you're going to tell me everything you did tonight. Do you understand, Sheena? I guess I should tell you then that I was the one who set the Ablaze embassy on fire.
And why did you do that?
Haha, I suppose it was to destroy all evidence of the counterfeit bills. That was what the smuggling ring was trying to do? But then I saw 2 fires. Sorry, I can't tell you anything about the ring. It's your job to complete your investigation, after all. I had my fun. Now it's your turn to enjoy the ride. Why did she get her sunglasses back?
That's a very good question.
Wait, Miss Sheena. Yes? When I fell to the floor earlier, these fell at my feet. Really? What about them? They're such pretty hair sticks that I thought, well, I should return them to you. You can have them. They're of no use to me anymore. If you don't want them, you can always just throw them away. No, I want to keep them. Suit yourself. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. Edgeworth? About the second problem I had with your story. I didn't kill anyone tonight.
What?
I'm not saying that as a sore loser. Think of it as a hint, if you will. Mr. Prosecutor.
Yes, Sergeant Lang?
Mark my words. I'm not done here and I'll be back. And it's got nothing to do with duty or anything, because this has become my personal case. I may have been shot, but I'll show you just how dangerous a wounded wolf can be.
His anger appears to have negated the sensation of pain in his injured leg.
Oh my god. You have an army of guys. Why aren't they helping?
It's finally over, okay?
I don't believe it for a second. This video is going on forever. I feel like I've peered into her heart a little, you know? And it's so cold and dark and incredibly lonely. The person who's given her all these commands. The one who thought my father was a problem to be removed.
That person is the real ringleader behind the smuggling ring, and I suspect it's Alba.
Probably. Mr. Edgeworth, I have a favor to ask. Can you hold on to these hair sticks for me? They're really pretty, just like the ones that he was selling for the Jammin' Ninja show. But until this case is over, I don't think I can look at them without being overcome.
I understand. I'll take good care of them for you. There's a bit of soil stuck in the ends of these sticks.
Aha! The plants come into use or something.
Yes.
Oh, I guess it's that time already, huh?
So it's midnight, the dawn of another day.
Hey, Pops, thanks a bunch. You've done a lot for everyone all these years.
Is it that bad? Don't tell me today's the day.
Yeah, it is. With this, I can retire in peace. It was down to the wire, and we almost didn't make it. But we did it. We solved everything.
That's just it. We haven't solved everything yet.
Well, it ain't my problem anymore. I retired.
Ringleader of the smuggling ring, you, the Yatagrasu we're chasing after.
The legend of the Yatagrasu is now over. Mr. Edgeworth, that bit of logic earlier. It was brilliant. I feel like I can leave it all in your hands. I'm counting on you.
Is it really true, Uncle Bad? Were you also part of the Yatagrasu?
As I said to you earlier, Kay, I'm truly sorry. I wanted nothing but a peaceful life for you.
Uncle Bad!
Hey, don't take it so seriously. It's all just one big joke, right? Right?
Unfortunately, it isn't.
Oh, come on, sir. She's just yanking on my chain. Isn't she, Mr. Edgeworth?
Detective Bad. Wait, no, you're no longer detective. Mr. Bad. I had to ask you about the Altagrasso.
Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth, here, I should give these back to you.
These are the pages from the KG8 case files that the Altagrasso stole from my office.
Wait, what?
Mr. Edgeworth, I must apologize for last night.
Oh my god! Was that bad? So the Altagrasso was stole into my room was you, was it?
Wait, that means what? Tell me it's not true. That's too insane for me to believe, sir.
It's true, even if it's not something you want to hear. The KG8 incident. It was a very emotional, trying case. We stood in that courtroom. Faraday is the prosecutor, and I is the lead detective. Faraday had evidence in his possession that would prove the defendant guilty. However, because it was stolen, the defendant was found innocent. You was the elder sister of the victim in that case. When the defendant was pronounced not guilty, she let out a great wail. That's when we realized that there was a limit to what the law could do. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside the courts. That's what we thought at that time. That's how we formed the Yatagrasu and vowed to bring to light any dirty dealings that companies had with the ring, including companies that dealt with the Amano Group.
It's Amano's conglomerate.
We called ourselves the Yatagrasu and flexed our collective muscle. We exposed all sorts of shady dealings as a warning to the business world as a whole. By doing that, we were able to stop the higher-ups from covering things up. And then, it was finally time. We had finally arrived at the moment when we'd find out the ringleader's true identity. It was then that you literally stabbed us in the heart. And Faraday, he died for it.
But why? Wasn't she the sister of the victim in the KG8 incident?
After Faraday's death, I looked into her past, and that's when I found out I'm handsome as hell. Oh, I mean, she was a phony. The victim of the KG8 incident, CCU.
She never had a sister.
Damn. What? Then that means...
Sheena wasn't the only fake name she used. Callisto U was also another pseudonym from the very beginning. That woman was a spy sent by the smuggling ring.
She said it herself. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning.
Anyway, let's return to the real topic at hand.
My dying voice.
Mr. Edgeworth, this trump card that we stuck onto this page of the case file, please use it wisely.
Trump card?
That photo that we stuck on there, try peeling it off. Behind it slumbers a piece of evidence that Faraday hid away all those years ago.
It's the mark of the Altagrasso. But why?
This is a directives card for the big boss. Take a look at the back. This was something Cochin had on him at the time of the KG8 incident 10 years ago. That blood is from the victim in that incident, Miss CCU.
Why is the card adorned with the mark of the Altagrasso? Because it's the mark of the smuggling ring.
The reason why we called ourselves the Yatagrasu was because of the three-legged raven mark the smuggling ring's boss used.
Yes, I got it.
Apparently, orders from the boss would come on these cards without fail. The person who received the order was supposed to burn it immediately after reading it. And apparently, it burns a bright green flame when set ablaze.
So you mean the cards were written in Ablaze ink?
The fact that the card that Cochin was sent made it into Faraday's hands at all is nothing short of a miracle. We decided that whenever we stole anything, we would send a card along with it to the police.
So that's what those white cards are.
The great thief that used that mark, that only those within the ring would know. It was our message to the ringleader that we were only a few steps behind.
Very intriguing.
And one more thing, Detective Gumshoe. I'm entrusting this to you. Have a lollipop.
What is this, sir?
This is what I was talking about earlier. During the KG8 incident trial, Faraday had this in his possession. This important, definitive piece of evidence.
But I thought it was stolen. How do you have it?
The person who stole it from us 10 years ago was a man by the name of Ernest Amano, and he had it locked and hidden away for all this time. But we forced him to tell us where it was, finally, after the other day's kidnapping case.
Oh.
Wow.
This video.
I don't remember his voice at all. Oh my god, why are there so many blasts from the past? What? Don't come in closer! I'm warning you! I have no idea what his voice was.
This is the same video as the one Mr. Portman was trying to conceal from me.
Yeah, it would seem that even he was caught up in the ring's web. Amano was preparing to take on the boss someday, and the video was his insurance. That's where that prosecutor comes in. He was to retrieve the video. On top of that, he was apparently instructed to sneak into your office and steal the trump card. You saw it for yourself, right? The card that told him to preserve evidence.
Then the card was not the calling card of the Yatagarasu, or rather a directives card from the ringleaders of Mr. Portsman.
My voice is so dead.
Just a little more.
I hope.
The two pieces together make for a strong weapon for whoever holds them.
The evidence Mr. Portman fought to withhold from me, and the one that you stole from my office last night. Both pieces are illegal, and for me to use either one is...
Whether you use them or not is up to you, but they will be of help to you when you take on someone who's above the law.
Is the boss of one of those who cannot be brought to the court that Mr. Faraday spoke of? Dr. Bad, there's no limit to the law, but it's the people who determine the limits to them.
You still insist that, even now, you really are something else. I leave the rest in your hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, the handcuffs. It's time to lock up the last remaining member of the Yatagarasu.
Pops!
Don't ever lose your detective spirit.
Pops, why is this happening? This isn't justice!
Like I always told you, do not get emotionally involved. Now, let's go.
Yes, sir!
Can it please end?
Is this really the end of a legend?
Finally!